All right, now that you have the Lucy set up, get the image brightness where you want it, and you understand how that works, and you got the image centered on your paper just like you like it, now is the fun part, and it's also the easy part as far as technicalities and trying to work a device goes, because all you have to do is draw the image now. It can be as simple as look through the hole, draw what you see. That's really all there is to it. Now there is a little bit more nuance that I want to get into, because as you look through, you'll notice when you make your first marks, if you move your head or something moves, the image will move relative to the marks that you're making. And that's because this is a reflected virtual image. And so what you want to do is mark a couple of key places, doesn't really matter where, and then continually look at those places to make sure you're lined up with them before you start drawing other places. So for example, I'm gonna look in here, I'm gonna see the top of his little dome there. I'm gonna draw a little top of his head right there. So I have that sketched out, top of his head. Draw top of his head, look, make sure that's lined up. And I'm gonna draw the ball of his knee right there. So just picked a couple of places. So now I'm gonna continue to just draw around everything else I wanna get. But as I do that, I'm gonna keep an eye on those first spots that I marked and make sure that they're still lined up. And just to kind of cover some things, you do want to close one eye. Whatever eye you're not looking into the view hole with, close that other eye. If you kind of stand at a little bit of an angle of the table and with your good arm out, that makes it a little more comfortable sometimes to draw like that, because your head kind of turns to the side to get your nose out of the way. Just kind of put your body at a little bit of an angle. And you want to have your eye close enough that is blocking the light from getting in. Remember that we talked about that earlier with the lighting. But the important thing to realize here as you draw is that you just want to sketch out everything you want for your initial drawing. You want to draw all the shapes, all the little lines, all the little details, but you're not going to do any shading. You're not going to finish it. You're not going to do any of the painting like this. This is just to get your initial sketch. And so you might want to mark where there's the whitest white little highlight on top of the head here, or mark where the light goes from on the leg, where the shadows go from dark to light. But you don't want to do the shading while looking in here. This transposed image over your paper is very useful for drawing around the image, for getting the shapes and getting the placements and getting all of those details. But if you attempt to do shading or attempt to do painting while looking through the Lucy, not only will it be uncomfortable and unproductive, it'll actually be counterproductive, because that transposed image is going to mess with your tones and your colors. So just draw around the image until you have a good sketch. Then when you're done and you have everything that you want there on the paper, just set your Lucy aside, detach it from the table and set it aside, or just push it away, and finish your drawing with just your regular drawing techniques, with your shading, with your painting. And now that Lucy's done its job, set it aside and finish it without it.